Good evening, sir. Can I introduce you into tonight's menu?
Do you have a vegan option?
Yes, we do, actually.
Burn it.
Okay, well, let me tell you about the full omnivore menu.
That's me.
It contains spoilers.
Is it meaty spoilers?
Well, we've got some meaty swearing.
Oh, nice.
And we got some opinions as well.
Oh, all right. A nice little garnish on the top, eh?
Garnish on the top, yes. And this, just to let you know, the dessert does contain ice cream.
I was wondering where you were going with that because that's all of them.
So
Ice cream, yeah, great.
Yeah, it contains ice cream.
Oh, I'm lactose intolerant, so shove your meal up your.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Get out of my restaurant.
Bye. Hello and welcome to 250 Reasons to Stay Indoors. I'm Jordan.
I'm Keiran.
And this is the podcast where we watch the IMDb top 250 films.
Filth.
50 filthy films. And we let you know whether it's worth staying indoors for. Keiran, what are we watching this week?
This week we are watching Shutter Island. I don't know why I just decided to, because whenever I read Shutter Island, it sounds better as Shutter Island in my head. I don't know why I did that, but
fair enough. No, you've done it now.
It's out there now, and it came out in 2010, and it's number 121 at the time of recording.
121. That's a good number. I like that number.
121. Yeah. So, Jordan, have you seen this before?
Yes.
Cool. So, have I?
Have you?
Yeah.
So, what did you think of the film? I mean should we save that until we've seen the film again?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But
what do you think
might have happened
in the film if you hadn't seen the film?
I wanted it to be a film that was just something to do with like shutters on the side of your house.
Yeah, but given it.
Like window shutters.
Yeah. And
that's exactly what I think of. Like, so, you know, okay, so the film is based on an island.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. But I was just thinking of like all of the houses on this island have those wooden shutters on them. And it's just like, I don't know, a story about a particular time of day when people close their shutters and shit happens.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. What about if it was just the place to go to get the best shutters? It's like you have to go to an island to get them.
Oh,
there's like one
pristine
Giorgio Romero
shutter
shutter lives there, and he makes the best shutters.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that it was like a market island where everyone just steals and shutters.
No, it's just this one guy who
has the empire of shutters.
Shutter creator.
Okay, does he have like? Is the island
the Chateaubriand? You may say.
Is it like there's loads of franchises of his one shop, or is it like there is one tiny shop?
No, it's just it's one tiny shop. It's this one dude. You have to haggle with him, but he knows exactly how much his shutters are worth. So
oh wow,
you're gonna have to pay a lot.
Does he have
a
waiting list?
Oh yeah, you know it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he has his own jetty that just ships people out constantly.
Is that made of
business
shutters?
Hours. Yes.
Because that's kind of cool.
I had to remember for a second.
That's kind of cool because if you're walking along shutters and you don't get along with whatever this guy's name was, then he could press a button and then you would slip into the shutters. And
it's cool for him, not for you.
Yeah. Well, sure.
Unless the water's cool.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think that's actually what's going to happen. But it would be kind of cool if that was.
But we both know for a fact that that's not.
I guess not. So let's just go watch it.
It'd be good. Yeah, let's go. Okay, and we're back with a couple of fast thoughts. Coffee.
No, you're on coffee. We are back with a couple of fast thoughts. Why did I just do that again?
Asylum.
Cool.
Insanity.
Island.
Marshall. Mathers.
Pills.
Eminem.
Yay. Pills.
Creepy ladies.
Sweet white suits.
Suave doctors.
Germans.
Luxurious living quarters.
Bloody Holocaust again.
Boats.
Kind of dead Nazis.
Kind of dead Nazis?
Well, he died eventually.
Oh, okay, yeah. Dead kids.
Ooh. Oh god, this is so dark. Cave.
Lady in a cave.
Lady making fires in the cave.
Lady probably cooking and living in a cave.
Lighthouse.
Lady moving from different cave to different cave.
I think we'll call it a day there.
Lobotomy. Okay, yeah.
Okay, nice one.
So, Kieran, are you ready with your 15-second pitch?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and as per usual, I'm not.
Yeah,
What were you going to say?
Well, I thought I should probably pad out some time, give you a bit more time to get up that timer.
Yeah, I mean, I've had it ready for a couple of seconds now. But okay, right, you ready?
I think so.
3, 2, 1, go.
Our boy Leonardo DiCaprio is on an island and he's detectiving, trying to find out why some conspiracy shit's going on in an island. It turns out that nothing's actually bad and he is the mental patient in the end and he gets over it, but does he really? Let's not lobotomize him.
Ooh.
Jordan.
Ooh. 15.
Yeah.
Point.
Yeah.
9.
Ah! God damn it!
Yeah, you've been. I mean, even Jordan time can't save you here. You've definitely reached the maximum. What was that bit you said at the start as well? A boy Leonardo DiCaprio?
I was supposed to say our boy Leo, but
I was like, who the fuck is a boy Leonardo DiCaprio?
Boliano.
He's a lesser known brother. You know, Leonardo DiCaprio was brought up in some really weird. His parents were hippies or some shit like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool fact.
Pretty interesting little snippet.
Thank you.
Right, so we want to do a synopsis then.
Yeah, let's do the synopsis.
Okay, cool.
Okay, it's quite long. I've cut it down quite a bit. There's a few spelling mistakes, and I'm gonna say them how I read them.
Okay, sweet.
U.S. Marshals Teddy Daniels, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Chuck All, Mark Ruffalo, are on a ferry boat in foggy Boston Harbor headed towards Shutter Island, an island containing a federal mental hospital for the criminally insane. They're going to the island because a woman patient named Rachel escaped the day before.
Shout out, Rachel.
He goes up on deck to talk to Chuck, and it's apparent that they are new partners working for the first time together. During their conversation, it is revealed that Teddy's wife died in an apartment fire several years before.
Ah! I'm in a fire and I'm dying!
He refers to Teddy as boss.
I'm the boss!
No, he refers to Teddy as the boss.
I'm the boss!
No, it's like he's calling him the boss.
Yeah, and the boss is going, I'm the boss!
All the way through the movie, and at one point mentions that Teddy is a legend. So we know that Teddy is well known through the Marshal Service and that he is Chuck's superior. They get to the island, and the ferry captain mentions that there is a big storm coming.
There's a big storm coming, guys.
Teddy and Chuck meet the deputy warden, McPherson, who takes them into the mental hospital grounds. Teddy still has a splitting headache from the ferry trip, and the doctor gives him some water and some pills, that he says are aspirin. He explains that Rachel, a patient, has escaped the night before, but says it's impossible because she seems to have simply vanished through the walls. She is at Shutter Island because she drowned 3 of her children one by one. Well, she only has 3 children.
Right.
Anyway, and then pretended that they had never died. In fact, she believes that she is still at her home at the hospital, and all of the staff and other inmates are merely neighbors or delivery men, and that she encounters in her daily life. She refuses to accept that she has killed anyone, or even that her children are dead. They tour the rest of the island, where officers are looking for the escaped Rachel. There is a lighthouse on the other side of the island that is gated off, and there are armed guards, which makes Teddy a little suspicious.
I'm feeling a little bit suspicious about this situation.
He doesn't talk like that, but okay.
I can't remember their fucking voices, Kieran.
Well, it's Leonardo DiCaprio. First of all, he doesn't sound...
Hey, I'm Leonardo DiCaprio, and I'm feeling a bit suspicious about this.
Teddy makes it clear that his job is to interview staff and patients. He says he needs the personnel records of the staff, but the doctor kind of blows that off. It's weird how it's formal for a while, and then he just says, yeah, doctor kind of blows that off. They go to the patient living quarters and interview staff about the night that Rachel left. In her cell, there is a loose floorboard and a handwritten note from her saying, "The law of 4. Who is 67? The staff are less than helpful. Thank you. The staff are less than helpful at the meeting that Teddy and Chuck have to ask about her, but do note that she had attended group therapy right before she went to her room and disappeared. During the meeting, it is revealed that she has a staff physician who conducted the meeting, a Dr. Shaheen. When Teddy asks where he is, Dr. Corley says that he just left that morning on the ferry to go on a long-planned vacation.
A long-planned vacation.
Teddy is incredulous.
I don't know how to do... You're pointing at me. I don't know how to do an incredulous noise other than just saying, I'm incredulousness.
Teddy is incredulous that a dangerous mental patient has just escaped. There's a lockdown and her doctor is allowed to just go on vacation. That's what incredulous is like. I don't even believe it.
I can't believe it. I'm so incredulous.
Things definitely look suspicious at this point.
Things look so suspicious.
At this point. There are a series of dream sequences interspersed. Flashbacks about Teddy's time in World War II as a soldier.
Flashback.
And Teddy often has internal conversations with himself in which his dead wife, Dolores, Michelle Williams, talks to him and gives him advice. What kind of advice do you want to give?
Teddy, I'm dead.
Brush your teeth.
Don't believe the news.
In one flashback, Teddy's unit is the first to liberate the Dachau concentration camp. There are many dead Jews. After the meeting with staff, Dr. Corley has Teddy and Chuck over to his mansion on the island to have a cigar and something to drink. When they arrive, there is a Dr. Keiran, Max von Sydow.
He doesn't sound German at all.
Nope. In the den. And he seems to be Dr. Corley's superior. Teddy takes an instant dislike to him when he notices a faint German accent. Racism.
I don't like you Germans.
And the two verbally spar. Pow, 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 pow. That was me.
How dare you?
For a little bit. Dr. Keiran is amused, commenting on Teddy's remarkable defense mechanisms.
Remarkable defense mechanisms.
Nice.
That's pretty good, wasn't it?
That was cool, but a bit louder next time, maybe.
Remarkable defense mechanisms.
Thank you. The next day, the storm has hit the... Oh, my goodness.
Come on, Keiran.
It's all good. Woo! The next day, the storm has hit the island, and it is clear the ferry will not arrive. Teddy was only bluffing the night before, as he has no intention of leaving without the investigation of the island has finished. Teddy and Chuck have several interviews with the patients who were in the group therapy session with Rachel. They are very unhelpful, and all seem to be following a script because they say very similar things in their interviews. In one interview, a woman asked Chuck for a glass of water.
Excuse me, sir. Could I please have a glass of water?
And when he leaves, she grabs Teddy's notebooks. What's that?
That was pouring a glass of water.
That sounded gross.
Did it?
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like you burping.
Yeah, you're getting too much of the tongue lick. Listeners, if you were here and just in the room, not listening to it through headphones, that would be really cool and you'd be really impressed with me.
She grabs Teddy's notebook and writes something very quickly and gives it back to him. He and Chuck. So Teddy and Chuck. Just to clarify, Teddy and Chuck.
Who is a man.
And another man called Chuck. Leave the hospital grounds and explore the island, ending up at the cemetery. The wind and rain are picking up. And they find sanctuary. Keep going. And they find sanctuary in the cemetery vault. Chuck, but now quieter because I'm closing the door. Chuck asks Teddy to level with him. He suspects that the last patient told him something while he was getting her water, and Teddy finally shows him the notebook, and it says, "Run!" Teddy finally explains that he was trying to get assigned to an investigation of the mental hospital for some time. Bit more wind. He says that bit less. He says that a man named Ladis was a maintenance worker at the apartment they lived in, and he was the arsonist who set the fire that killed his wife. He got off on a technicality, but later was caught when he killed some other people. Bit more rain. Thanks. He was sent to a mental hospital here. But when Teddy looked into it, there was no paperwork at all for Ladis, and he suspects that there is some greater conspiracy going on. He mentions the Nazi experiments and wonders if his own government is involved in psychotropic drug research as well. He tells Chuck that he came across a prisoner by the name of George Noyce.
George Noyce.
Who was actually sent here sometime before, and he was the one who clued Teddy in that there was some crazy research going on here.
Crazy research!
Chuck finally... Oh, my goodness. I just read words that aren't there. Chuck suddenly gets paranoid that maybe in all of Teddy's poking around, he alerted the wrong people to his interest in Shutter Island, and that maybe they arranged the disappearance of Rachel as an excuse to draw him here as a marshal to investigate where they could make both of them disappear. Teddy is not sure that's possible, but Chuck is pretty convincing, and suddenly the door bursts in. And there is a car spotlight on them from Deputy Warden McPherson's car.
Audible version of a car spotlight.
Has been looking for them, and they get in, and he takes them back to the hospital. There's no apostrophe on.
Nino, hospital.
They change out of their wet business suits, and the orderly gives them the staff white uniforms that almost make them look like patients. And he tells them, is there any zips on it? Okay. And he tells them that it will take a day or two to get their suits back. The orderly says their cigarettes were ruined. They both smoke a lot. But he gives them 2 new packs of cigs. They meet in Dr. Corley's office again. They argue briefly about the investigation, and suddenly Teddy gets ill again, a migraine. The doctor gives him a couple of pills, but Teddy doesn't want to take them. Head's really sick, though, and the doctor almost insists that he takes them, and he does. Chuck helps him down to the basement with all the rest of the staff to wait out the hurricane-like storm. Teddy has another dream sequence with his wife, who tells him that Rachel is on the island and that he needs to help her. The next day is kind of chaotic. The backup generators fail and all the patients' cell doors were therefore opened. Teddy and Chuck use this as an opportunity to go up to the C building while no one is really paying attention to them. The place is really dark inside and they wander around. A patient runs from them and they give chase. Chuck falls behind and the patient grabs Teddy from behind and is choking him. Teddy gets away and beats the crap out of him until Chuck pulls him off. I didn't see that in the film. Teddy wanders off. Tendy wanders around and finds a row of cells where a prisoner is
Chicken Tendy
is wandering around and finds a row of cells where a prisoner is sitting by himself and says the name Ladis. When Teddy demands the prisoner look at him, he realizes it's George Noyce.
I'm George Noyce.
The guy who was a former patient here who told him about what was going on at Shutter Island.
The guy who was a former patient here that told you about what was going on at Shutter Island.
Noyce's face is badly beaten. Teddy can't believe he is back here, and Noyce is yelling at him that it's all about Ladis, isn't it?
It's all about Ladis, isn't it?
Noyce tells him that Ladis is no longer in C building. It's building C, which
You're no longer in C building C.
But that they have taken him to the lighthouse where they are planning to do a lobotomy on him. He says that the lighthouse is where they do all of their experiments on people who are troublemakers. Noyce questions him about Noyce.
Fucking hell. Maybe we shouldn't credit who wrote this.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Noyce questions him about Noyce, implying that he is a plant by the government to follow Teddy. I reckon he's supposed to be saying Chuck. Noyce questions him about Chuck, implying that he is a plant by the government to follow Teddy. He asks him whether Hez ever worked with Chuck before, and we know that they haven't because they let us know that in the beginning. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Should have deleted that.
Yeah.
Ted finally catches up with Chuck, and they head towards office. Dr. Corley... oh, goodness me. Oh, I just got a bit flustered. Ooh. Teddy finally catches up with Chuck, and they head towards the office. Dr. Corley says they found Rachel. They go to her cell, and there is a weird scene where Teddy tries to talk to her, and she ultimately thinks he is her dead husband and starts yelling at him. Awkward. In another dream scene, Rachel is all bloody, but she is at Teddy and his wife's vacation cottage. They go outside, and Teddy sees the little girl and picks her up and carries her to the water. The little girl asks him again why he didn't save her, and he looks sad.
I'm a sad man.
Teddy and Chuck leave, and Chuck says he found Ladis' file, but there was only his commitment paper in the file, which he tries to show Teddy, but he won't look at it now because he is intent on reaching the lighthouse.
I don't want to look at that.
Teddy says he is going to go around and try to get there a different way. Again, Chuck tries to talk to him out of it because it's dangerous to scale off the cliffs when it will be dark soon. They argue some more, and Teddy tells him that he's going buying himself. Teddy gets near the lighthouse, but finds that it's late enough in the day and that the tide has cut off the lighthouse from the island. He gives up and goes back to where Chuck is to tell him they'll try later, but all he sees is a burning cigarette on the edge of the cliff. It's about 100 feet down to the rocks below. He looks over and sees Chuck at the bottom of the cliff with waves crashing over him.
Chuck! Chuck! That's wind again. I can't do water crashing against rocks.
Hard.
It's hard.
It's more like explosions. That's not bad. Shocked? No, you don't say ah. Okay.
Ah!
A big gasp. A big gasp. Ready? Shocked. Teddy climbs down the cliff, but doesn't see Chuck at the bottom. He sees a cave in the side of the cliff with a fire burning inside. When he reaches the cave, he sees a woman armed with a knife. They begin talking, and she says, "She is Rachel."
I'm Rachel!
But she was a doctor.
I'm the doctor!
At the hospital.
At the hospital!
Who found out too much, and they committed her and concocted a story that she killed her kids. The other Rachel must be an imposter they used to fool Teddy and Chuck. She says there is a secret government program to test a number of new drugs on the patients to make them sort of super spies or soldiers who don't feel pain and don't have memories that can be tortured out of them if they are captured. She warns...
Mama, super spies!
She then warns Teddy that they will be... they will not let him leave. They will concoct a story that he went crazy. She asks him if he had a serious trauma, his wife dying, and says, and also, why did they just say wife dying? Because I'm pretty sure the Nazi stuff is traumatic too, and says that they will use that to say he is cracked. She asks him if he is taking any medication. He has the aspirin for his headaches. She asks if he's eaten at the hospital or smoked any of the cigarettes. The orderly gave him a new pack when his clothes were all wet. She says that it takes 36 to 48 hours for psychotropic drugs to take effect and make him pliable for them to control.
Come on, Keiran.
The first sign will be tremors in his hands, which he already has. She also questions whether Chuck is even are you even a marshal? That he is probably a government agent sent to go with him to the island. When Teddy gets back to the road, he sees a Jeep pull up with the warden.
Warden.
The warden takes him back to the facility, and they have a really weird conversation about being men of violence. Teddy leaves. We're real close. Teddy leaves that's just me letting you all know we're real close. Teddy leaves to confront Dr. Corley. Dr. Corley wonders where Teddy has been. Where have you been? Teddy says he'll be leaving, and he asks if the doctor has seen Chuck, his partner. Dr. Corley says he came to the island alone, saying there was no partner. Teddy realizes that they are already starting to put their plan into action by insisting there was no Chuck. He leaves and walks around the grounds, trying to decide what to do next.
What will I do next?
He sees his wife, who tells him to leave the island and don't go into the lighthouse.
Leave the island. Don't go to the lighthouse.
She says the lighthouse will destroy him.
The lighthouse will destroy you.
He decides to blow up Dr. Coley's car to create a diversion so he can sneak down into the lighthouse. As he moves away from the car, he sees his wife and the little girl in front of the car. It explodes around them. But they aren't burned at all. He runs out of there to make it to the lighthouse. He swims over to it and sneaks up behind a guard and overpowers him and takes his rifle. The guard asks if he is going to kill him.
Are you going to kill me?
And he says no.
No!
But hits him with the rifle butt and knocks him out. He runs up the stairs of the lighthouse, checking each room but finding no operating rooms for
Huh?
Nice. I like that the pitter patter turned into like a little jazz thing. Cool. But finding no operating rooms for fudge.
There were no fudge operating rooms. They do not make fudge here, Keiran. They don't do it.
No fudgical experiments. He gets to the top and finds Dr. Corley sitting behind a desk.
He was toffee all along.
Teddy holds the rifle on him whilst he is talking. The doctor tells him that there are no bullets in the rifle and asks him if he killed the guard below.
Did you kill the guard below?
Teddy says no.
No!
But the doctor calls down anyway to tell the people below to attend to the guard before they come up. Teddy sees his gun from the beginning of the movie on the doctor's desk.
That's my gun!
Dr. Corley tells Teddy that he is a patient at the hospital and has been for 2 years.
You're a patient at this hospital? You have been for 2 years.
That's a very good impression. Teddy doesn't believe him and says, I'm a U.S. Marshal. The doctor says, that wasn't a good impression. The doctor says he was one, but after his breakdown 2 years ago...
Teddy, but not anymore.
After his breakdown 2 years ago, he was sent here. He broke down when his kids were killed. Teddy says he doesn't have any kids. Dr. Corley says they have been trying to use the new drug therapy to tell him and have been trying to everything they could do to treat him. Dr. Corley tells him that he has been one of the most dangerous patients they have had and that there are some who want to lobotomize him to make him manageable. The whole last couple of days were an attempt to do a massive role play and to get him to finally realize the truth. He calls in Dr. Sheehan, the doctor from the beginning that went on vacation right after his patient Rachel disappeared. The doctor opens and it is Chuck!
It was Mark Ruffalo all along!
He is, I was reading that as it's written, by the way. The doctor opens and it is Chuck! He is a psychiatrist who agreed to play along with Teddy's fantasy and to keep tabs on him. Dr. Corley tells Teddy that his real name is Ladis, and he shows him on a chalkboard that his full name is Ladis. That his full name and Ladis's are an anagram. That is, all the letters in his name can be rearranged to spell Ladis's full name. Thank you for explaining what an anagram is. The same thing with his wife's name and Rachel's. Blah, blah, blah.
Bum, bum.
Teddy constructed the new name Teddy Daniels to create distance from his real name. The doctor points out that Noyce was a fellow patient who Teddy attacked a few days before, and that was why he was all beaten up looking. Teddy denies this, but the doctor shows him that the transcript of what Noyce said to him in the cell earlier, where he said that it was all Teddy's fault. He tells Teddy that the reason why he beat up Noyce was that Noyce called him by his real name. Teddy grabs the gun off the table and shoots Dr. Corley, whose blood splashes against the wall. The next second, there is no blood. Dr. Corley tells him that his gun was a toy gun, and they gave him at the beginning of the roleplay. He tells Teddy that he's completely erased everything he did wrong in an attempt to make himself be the hero. We finally see a flashback where Teddy / Ladis comes home to his cottage from a week or two of chasing bad guys in Oklahoma. His wife, Michelle Williams, is acting strangely. He asks where the kids are, and she says they are in school. He says it's Saturday, and she smiles and says they're in her school, and looks towards the lake. Horrified, Teddy runs down to the lake and sees his 3 kids face down in the lake. He scoops them all up, crying uncontrollably. It's more than that. Still more than that. No, really go for it. All your kids are dead. Oh, okay. Didn't know you were into that, Jordan. And places them on the ground. Then his wife hugs him and says they should put the kids at the dining room table and they can have dinner. Teddy is crying and says if she ever loved him, please stop talking. She is sad now and says she loves him. And then there is a shot. Teddy looks down and... and then there is a shot. Teddy looks down and realizes that he's just shot his wife. She is laying there with a lot of blood on her and then she dies. We're right at the end, guys. Teddy now realizes that he has a choice between accepting the truth or continuing to deny it. The doctor makes it clear that if he doesn't accept the truth, then Dr. Corley won't be able to stop the other doctors from ordering that he will be lobotomized. He makes Teddy admit that he blamed himself for not realizing earlier that his wife was having trouble. He feels responsible for killing his kids because he didn't get her help when she needed it. He created a fantasy world where he never killed his wife, and he never had a breakdown. The next day, he and Chuck / Dr. Shaheen / the Hulk are sitting on some steps by the hospital grounds. He asks Chuck what their next move is, as he still believes he is investigating the hospital as a US Marshal. And Chuck says, "What do you think, boss?" Chuck nods to the other doctors across the grounds, who then direct some orderlies to move towards Teddy. Teddy asks Chuck whether it's better to live as a monster or die a good man. He stands up and willingly goes to the orderlies, as he would rather choose to continue his fantasy than accept the horrors of his reality. Alternatively, he has accepted his reality, but still cannot live with the horrors of it. So, now at the end of the film, he is actually acting out the fantasy rather than living in it. Effectively, he is cured. However, he still can't live with his memories, so he knowingly forces the doctors to take the decision for physical intervention, i.e. the lobotomy, knowing he will no longer have to live with his memories as a compliant zombie, thus ending his life as a good man.
The end.
Woo!
We did it!
We got through that.
Fuck Martin Scorsese and his incredibly complicated and complex plot lines.
You know, do you want to go straight into some beefs?
Yeah, I'd love to. I've got one.
Ooh.
But not as in like I've got one that I want to speak about first. I mean, like I've pretty much just got one.
Okay.
Because I think the film is pretty well contained, especially on the second watch, going through it again, knowing sort of what's actually going on. You pick up a lot of different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it held up even on the second watch, sort of thing, which I think is important. But there's the one thing that bothered me was when the guard lets them free roam around Ward C, where apparently all of the most dangerous people are, and it's while like it's flooding and they're all free running around and stuff.
Yeah, but the security is down, so they can't.
Yeah, but there's guards there. There's guards there. Like there's obviously still like wardens and stuff like that. So and they bump into him, and he's like, you got to keep your wits about you or something like that. And he's like, they'll come at you or something.
But check it out though. Think about it. If you're a guard and so there's the place is like there's fucking trees everywhere. Mm-hmm. All the trees are falling down and it's hectic. It's chaos, right? Mm. And then all of the patients are also just wandering around.
Yeah.
Now, if they're not doing anything bad, your priority is just to get the prison back up and running and remove all of the trees and stuff so it's actually safe to go around. Because also, if you just collect all of the prisoners, or, well, patients, whatever, you've got nowhere to put them because the electrics or whatever haven't been reestablished, so you can't actually lock them up properly.
Right.
So it's kind of fine to just let them do their thing as long as they're not harming anyone yet. Does that make sense?
No, but he's saying that the patients could harm them, and let's not forget they weren't supposed to be there in the first place. They only went there because like all havoc was loose and like they could kind of slip through. The electric gate was down and they could get in. So they're not supposed to be there in the first place. And then this guard's just like, hey, there's people running around all over the place. Be careful.
But remember that they're wearing these white suits that make them look like staff. So that guard probably doesn't even know that they're supposed to be the detective people.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That checks out. Mm-hmm. Fuck you.
Oh.
I hate it when you derail my beefs. I'm like, just let it be a beef, you know?
But the point is that we have nice little arguments, Jordan.
Yeah, I guess. But I always lose them when it's my beef, I swear.
But that's just down to you to correct my beef better.
Well, no.
This is on you, Jordan. This is on you.
No.
Just because I'm clever, Jordan.
No, Keiran.
Just because I'm clever. That's not my fault. Actually, I did deliberately try to be clever. So.
Yeah, you try hard.
It's on you for being dumb, I think.
Fuck.
Woo! My beefs.
Here we fucking go.
I don't have, honestly.
Right, let's go.
I really don't have loads, but I'm just going to fire through a little of them. Why is the Hulk in this film?
What do you mean? Why is the Hulk in this film?
Because Mark Ruffalo is the Hulk, right?
Yeah, but he was this before he was the Hulk.
It's just weird because I've seen the Hulk, and I've not seen many films where Mark Ruffalo isn't the Hulk. So
I've not seen many films with Mark Ruffalo in, to be honest.
Okay.
My first note is just like, oh yeah, Mark Ruffalo.
Because it seems to me that Mark Ruffalo does a really good job of like being a calm dude and then not being a calm dude.
What do you mean?
So he's calm for a while, and for example, when he's the Hulk, it's like, let's keep him super calm, otherwise you'll turn into a green animated character. Mm. And here, he has to say super calm for Leo, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So I reckon people hire him as like, oh, we need someone in a high position of responsibility, but will stay calm and look like the good cop. Mark Ruffalo.
You know, acting isn't actually putting people in those real situations. You know, it's acting, right?
Well, this is what I have a beef about with method acting. So of course I know that, Jordan.
Right.
But why was that? Why did you bring that up?
Because surely it's quite easy to act calm when you know you're not actually in danger.
Yeah, I know, but
anyone can do that.
You're not going to hire Jim Carrey to be your calm person because everyone knows him as the crazy guy.
Right, but I mean, he could probably act calm. Yeah. Like at the end of Truman Show, he's very calm, but all crazy shit's just happened. He's like, I'm leaving. Good day, good morning, or whatever the fuck he says.
Okay, I'm just saying that maybe Mark Ruffalo. I nearly said Mike Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo is maybe typecast as calm.
Well, I just feel that any actor could probably play calm because that's like a natural state, isn't it? That's your base state.
Well,
what?
I feel like you're trying really hard.
I am trying very hard. I'm not letting you get away with this.
I commend you, and I'll give you that point.
Okay, next one. Let's go.
Leo's brow is very furrowed, and he just looks very stressed. His brow, right, his eyebrow, when he frowns and he furrows his brow, it's really furrowed. It's not just a little bit. It's a bit and bob. But I had beef with the fact that.
Why is that beef?
Because it's just too furrowed. I was like, dude, relax your face. That's all.
What you were saying? He's overacting.
No. I'm just saying his face is overacting. Like
his face is so he's overacting.
I have beef with the muscles on Leonardo DiCaprio's face. That's what I have beef with.
Right, okay.
There we go.
I don't really feel like that's fair to Leonardo. That's just his face.
Sure, it's not his fault.
Are you saying he looked too concerned?
What it was is that his brow was furrowed for too long. I felt like he held the same expression of just furrowed brow.
Right, so he was concerned for too long.
That's what it was.
Do you not feel like you'd be quite concerned in that situation?
Yeah, sure, but I didn't have to furrow my brow the whole time.
Right, because you go back into a natural calm state.
Well, it depends if you're Mark Ruffalo or not.
Well, so you're saying if it was you, you would remain concerned for longer, or
I would be just as concerned, but I would execute it in different ways in my body. So
right.
I wouldn't always have the furrowed brow.
So you're just actually questioning Leonardo DiCaprio's acting ability because he can't convey concern in any other way than furrowing his brow.
Maybe, yeah. I don't want to call shots at Leonardo DiCaprio.
You are though. But you are.
Yeah.
Are you going to disagree with that?
Oh, I'm in a weird position because the beef that I have is that he should have not just been throwing.
The beef that you have is that he's not a good actor, essentially.
No. That's not what the bottom of it is.
Okay.
It's just like that particular one thing, just furrowing his brow.
So the beef you have is that he can't play concerned well.
Oh, I don't like this.
Well, is that wrong?
He plays concerned well, but he was concerned too much.
He was too concerned. So he was too concerned for the situation, thus playing concerned wrong.
No, he was the right amount. He was the right amount of concern.
So it was fine then. You want to move on? You want to concede that one?
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Let's go.
Okay,
I can do this all night.
You can't deny that when in the cave scene, when he's going into the cave and the rats came out when the tide came in, that was gross. I had a beef with how gross that was.
That was gross. There's no way that he didn't step on loads of mice or rats. And how, like, were they CGI mice, rats, mouse rat? Were they CGI rat mice? Were they, like, because otherwise he's definitely got dead rats on there. Like, you can't control that amount of rats, surely.
You're just stepping all over
animals, yeah.
But I don't know, because they looked super realistic. But then I reckon they were real. I reckon there was a load of real ones, but then like
maybe they CGI'd some extra ones in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably can do that.
You could just copy paste, you know.
Do you reckon they just put like green shit all over the rocks so you can CGI stuff onto it?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, come at me, Hollywood. I've got all sorts of ideas for your green screen stuff. You know, you can use any color. It doesn't have to be green.
Really?
Yeah. It's, except from there's one or something. But like it depends on the situation.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Like maybe red doesn't work or something.
You know,
it's just like a base. It has to be a standard color, but green works the best.
Probably because generally things that people wear are not bright green.
Maybe. Yeah, it's not a very common color to wear, is it?
And in terms of like landscapes and stuff, obviously if you're in like a green area, then that's a bit of a hassle. But if you're like in a town or in like an office or something, then having green stuff is a good way because what else is green in an office? Highlighter pen?
Yeah, highlighter pen, exit signs. Come on, let's list off some green things in offices.
You might have an apple. Like my water bottle has a green lid.
Yeah, what about coffee mugs? They might be green.
Yeah, I'm thinking drab offices though. And so someone having like a green spotted polka dot mug might be a bit too jazzy.
I feel like there's probably some cheap IKEA utensils that are like vivid green, that sort of thing. You can imagine like
as if like
kitchen utensils.
You know the show The Office? Yeah. As if they would buy some IKEA office stuff. I don't think so.
No, that's probably correct. They probably got like a distributor that they use or something like that, I imagine.
Yeah. Because if you think about like maybe they would have one novelty thing, but it just gets chucked in the cupboard because no one really actually wants to be the person sitting on the green chair.
No, they're like, who the fuck bought this green chair? For fuck's sake.
Who wants to sit on the green chair?
God damn it, Pam.
Get out of it, Pam. You thinking Pam from Archer?
No, from The Office.
Who's Pam from The Office?
Pam. Oh, you're thinking UK Office, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, US Office. It's Jen. Is it Jen?
What the
receptionist? What's her name?
I don't know, but I know who you're talking about.
Okay. Next one.
That's all the beefs I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
I just thought it was awesome.
3, one of them stands up. You still do better than me if that will settle your conscience.
No, it's okay. Jordan wins Shutter Island beef reclaim.
Ding ding.
Let's go for some bits and bobs.
Yeah, let's do it.
I love Leonardo DiCaprio. I think he's awesome.
Yeah, just his brow is just far too furrowed.
Shut up. Him and I realized that him and Morgan Freeman and Will Smith, I want to watch all their films. I just had that thought when I was watching the film. I was like, oh, Leonardo DiCaprio is a great actor. I tend to like all of the films that he's in. Same with Morgan Freeman. Same with Will Smith. So I'm probably going to end up watching all their films at some point.
Yeah, there's one Will Smith film that I don't think gets a lot of recognition, which is called £7.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, it's really sad and moving. It came out around the same time as I Am Legend.
Okay.
It felt like Will Smith just went through a period of doing kind of dark films. Yeah, I watched that. That was pretty deep.
It's like the story of 2 meal deals and a packet of beans or something.
No, it's I don't want to give it away, but it's basically about how he affects 7 different people's lives.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty deep. You'd probably like it, I think.
Psychological vibe.
Yeah, it's just really sad.
That is sad.
Yeah. One of the things I wanted to say was, right, there's quite an iconic scene in this that a lot of people think about, and I think it was in the trailers, is when the old lady shushes him right at the start.
Why is that such a big deal?
What do you mean, why is it a big deal?
Why do people go on about that scene? Because the way that it was done in the film made it look like, oh, this is something that you should probably pay attention to.
Yeah.
I didn't get why that was
it's going to be significant or something. But what my point about that is it's interesting because the way that they make it feel that it's significant, because like all of the background noise goes away except from like wind. Whereas actually like it's more environmental sound. There's no music, and it just like focuses in on her. So you're literally like everything drops away and all of your attention is pulled towards her. The environmental sounds make you feel like you're there, and it's very like intense. And the camera just focuses in on her and she shushes. And she looks creepy and it's weird and it's like an uncomfortable scene. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to point out how like the effect of sound in film and how that can make you like pull away and draw your attention and scare you, like in a lot of horror films and stuff like that, when there's minimal music going on and stuff like that, and it's actually quite scary to have the environment and stuff like that.
So good sound is good.
Like sound is good.
Sound is good.
Sound is good.
That's the takeaway, kids.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of like in horror games, stuff like that. Like I don't know if you've played the game Last of Us. It's quite a popular one.
Dude, I used to watch you play that game.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
watching you play video games was one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, playing them is one of my favorite things to do.
This is why this friendship works so nicely. I think. Yeah,
you get to watch, I get to do.
Yeah. What the?
Let's not talk about that, Matt. Okay. So anyway, no, that game has very little music in it, and it's a lot of environmental sound, which makes you feel like you're there. It draws you in, and it's quite scary. Yeah.
Cool.
Next point.
Sound is good. I really like the white suits, man. They just looked really cool.
Yeah.
Because they had the jackets as well.
Have you got a white suit?
I have a white... No, I don't have a white suit. I think what makes... Okay, I just heard what I was about to say in my head, and it's going to sound really stupid.
Okay.
I think what makes a suit is the fact that it's had jacket as well as the trousers.
Yeah, I would say so too, Kieran. I'd say that is the suit.
Genius.
Yeah.
So, white shirt, tick. I've also got a white turtleneck.
Nice.
Which I've not worn since the first time I wore it.
Yeah.
I should probably bring it out. Not now.
Not yet. It's still quite sunny.
But I think I'll probably will whip it out sometime soon.
Yeah, whip it out.
But white trousers. I do have white trousers, but not white suit trousers. Right. I'll probably get away with white trousers, though.
Okay, so, ask me.
You have white trousers?
If I have a white suit.
Jordan, do you have a white suit?
I used to.
Oh, tell me about your white suit.
It stopped fitting.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I got it from a shop.
Nice.
A discount outlet. I think for maybe all in all like £50.
The whole thing?
Yeah. Like the trousers and the jacket, and that was it. So trousers and jacket for £50, and it was for a Halloween costume. And I went as the Spirit of Jazz from the Mighty Boosh.
Okay, that's lost on me. But
okay,
yeah, that's one of those shows that you've mentioned several times in our friendship.
One of the shows that I have a lot of my sort of personality is probably made up around.
I don't want to have that much of a deep look into your personality. Like, I don't want to see where it comes from. I just want to appreciate it the way it is now.
Well, yeah, you can do that. That's fine.
And I will.
Any issues with that?
I'm doing that right now.
I can feel your appreciation.
Another bit in Bob is that why is it that Leo always has a plaster on his face?
Yeah, throughout the whole film, he has like a plaster on his face. It feels like it's significant, doesn't it?
But I don't know why.
I thought it was going to be like, even on the second watch, I couldn't remember if there was something about it. But I thought maybe he'd sustained an injury to the head or something, and that was like covering it up. And then you later find out that he's actually like had an injury to the head, which has made him the way he is.
But that doesn't
seem to be the case.
So all I can think is that Scorsese was like, so you see how this is a psychological film and everyone's going to be trying to find significant parts and everything. Let's just put something in that has no relevance to anything else, just to troll everyone.
Yeah.
I reckon he was trolling us.
So one of the things that Chuck, that I noticed on the second watch that really gives it away of what's going on, is the way he acts when Teddy gets violent. Because he's like, when Teddy starts to get violent and shouting at people, he'll like assess the room, see who's there. If there's any staff, he'll sort of be like, no, don't worry, it's fine. Like he has a very, like, he snaps out of the role he's playing, and for a brief second is the doctor and is like making sure that this situation is okay, and then descales the, is that the word? De-escalates the situation.
Descales. Mr. Muscle comes in and descales the situation.
He sprays Teddy with some Sillet Bang, which we're not promoting.
No.
And you know, bang, and the dirt's gone.
Bang, and the situation is descaled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do see what you mean. But when you're watching it for the first time, it's like, oh,
yeah,
that's cool. Quickly,
yeah,
there are 2 dicks in this film.
Is there?
Yep. When in Sea Ward.
Did you see a dick in there?
2 dicks, yeah.
Oh.
No balls, 2 dicks.
Ooh,
there are 2 titties on a painting. I don't know if that counts.
How good was the painting?
I mean, it was good enough that I could tell that.
Is it like a realistic painting, or is it like an abstract? Was it a little like a child's drawing, or what are we talking here?
There was not a child's drawing of two female breasts on a wall, Jordan. That's ridiculous. But it was like, I don't know, some kind of impressionist shit. Like,
okay, yeah.
So does that count?
Art.
So art. It was legit art, like would be in the National Portrait Gallery kind of vibe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, does that count as 2 tits? I can put that in genitalia too?
No.
Oh, okay. Just the 2 dicks then?
No, yeah, it doesn't count. It has to be real flesh. So if you could be someone, who would you be, Keiran?
I don't have a really good one, to be honest. I think I would just be the Hulk / Mark Ruffalo / what's the guy's name? Chuck. And I would say to the doctor at the end, after Teddy's been like, oh, is it better to live as a good dude or die as a dick, whatever it is, or the other way around, live as...
Is it better to live as a good person?
No. Die a good person or live as a dick. Yeah. Like, that's roughly
the exact quote, yeah.
Precise. And I would go over to the doctor and be like, he just said this to me. What do we do?
Yeah, actually do something about it.
Should we try again? I don't know. And that's pretty much all I do. Okay. See if that would change anything. What would you do?
So 2 routes. Either I would be Chuck and try and have my issue here is with the situation where Teddy climbs down the thing.
The cliff.
Yeah. Chuck just disappears. Like, he actually just disappears in that scene. Mm-hmm. Like, why? I don't understand what's gone on there. Like, he's obviously in a situation where it's quite dangerous. He's on a cliff edge, and Chuck decides at that point to just fuck off. So I would either be there and not do that, so he doesn't climb down the thing and make more of an effort to stop that from happening.
Yeah.
Or I would be the doctor, what's his name? Dr. Jeremiah. And... you know, be a little bit more...
Who's Dr. Jeremiah?
Is not him? The head psychologist man? The bald guy?
No.
Oh, maybe that's
Corley.
Dr.
Corley.
Dr. Corley. I would be him and try and construct more contingency plans for when shit is going to go wrong, where, you know, they lose Teddy quite often. Chuck is often with him, but I would try and make more of a situation that they can control. Obviously, they've let him live out this fantasy to try and help him, but surely from a scientific perspective, you need to create enough controls, and maybe that's not the right word, but, you know, enough constraints to keep to make your findings measurable.
Yes.
I went on a bit of a rant there, and I'm not sure.
Kind of lost me. Can you sum it up?
What I mean is just I would make if this is essentially a scientific experiment, no?
Yes.
So I would make more of an effort to try and control the extraneous variables.
Cool. I get it.
Yeah. And hopefully that way I can actually manipulate the situation a little bit better to have a positive outcome instead of leaving it to chance.
I don't feel like it's left to chance so much because they did a lot to recreate the, they made sure that they gave him the right uniform. They gave him everything that would make him feel like that character.
Yeah, but I also feel like a lot of it was improvised and they basically just told everyone to let him do whatever he wants.
Right.
Like there's situations that would happen where he's like, I want to see the doctor. And he's like, he's on vacation. She's on vacation. And it's a bit like, I would probably have constructed a little bit more of a believable situation because he's like, what? There's like a hurricane and a patient's just gone missing and you've just let that person go away. Like, actually, that probably wouldn't happen. So right at the start there, you've made something that would make him doubt the whole situation.
Well, it's weird because you have to, if you have the patient getting all of the results that he needs, then it just confirms that he believes that he is a US Marshal. Whereas if he starts to actually suspect whatever he's seeing, then that leads him to believe, oh, maybe this is all wrong and maybe I'm not actually Teddy Daniels.
Right.
Because if the whole, if there's enough things that crumble the reality of him being a US Marshal, then it leads him to a point where he realizes that it's not true. So maybe they deliberately left a lot of things, untidy, so that it was a mess, so that Teddy could eventually see that he's not Teddy, and that he in fact is the other dude.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, but that wasn't a beef. I'm not reclaiming your being.
No, that's fine. I see where you're going, and I suppose at the end of the day, they have to make a decision as to whether they're letting him play out the scenario in his head to eventually come to the conclusion that it's not true by finding that out by the very fact that it is not true. Eventually he is going to come into stuff that tells him that it's not true, but constructing enough constraints to keep him within the role.
Yeah.
Or are they just going to let him unravel it totally in amongst the chaos?
Who would you bring?
I would bring in Will Smith from Men in Black, neuralize him, and make him not know that the whole wife and children situation happened.
Oh my God, that would make
just clean it up. Just take that whole thing away.
That would just make everything so much easier.
Yeah, could you imagine how Will Smith's phone would just be fucking ringing constantly from so many insane asylums and psychologists, just like, hey, Will there, we've got another person who went on a mad killing spree. We need you to wipe that so he can return to civilization.
But also, think about it, therapists wouldn't have a job.
No, yeah.
Because their whole thing is like, let's talk about your childhood trauma. Whereas if Will Smith can be like, let me just take that out of your brain, then it's sorted out. I mean, but doesn't it? It's not as if he can pick a certain.
That's what I'm going to say. How does the neuralizer work? Do we actually know? I'm sure someone knows, but can you say you were sexually abused as a child?
Yeah.
Can you just go flash? You weren't sexually abused as a child. Everything else remains the same.
I don't think
so. Does that work?
From my meager recollections of Men in Black, because I think I've seen 1 and 2.
Right.
I'm kind of impressed with myself.
Yeah.
Because the second one is in the Statue of Liberty, right?
Oh yeah, where they do the big flash at the end,
all over the whole of New York.
I think so.
Which is kind of ridiculous, but funny. That's I'm pretty sure it's like the more powerful it is it's like over a longer amount of time from the present moment. So
right, yeah. There's a time limit on how
exactly.
Soon you
so it's not as if you can pick a moment. It's like, okay, it's just now and then. Everything for the past 5 minutes and then everything for the past 10 minutes. So if you were to wipe out that childhood trauma, it'd be like everything for the past 20 years. And then, oh, wait, you're 3 years old now.
Right. So I guess what I'd do is be Will Smith, mass distribute neuralizers to all psychologists, psychiatric wards, and make sure that people are able to get to it in an orderly fashion, get there faster.
So if any more trauma happens,
snappy slogan for it or something.
Snappy Logan.
like DHNF. Don't hesitate, neuralize fast.
That was terrible.
Yeah, I was trying to make a word, but just doomf. Doomf. Whenever you get in a situation, just doomf.
Yeah. I don't know
who would you bring in?
I would bring Lord Voldemort.
Okay.
The reason for this is because, you know, at the end, when the Doctor, Corley, is explaining, you did an anagram of your name. In Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, at the end of the film, Lord Voldemort is like, Tom Marvolo Riddle is an anagram of I am Lord Voldemort. So I'd bring in Tom Riddle / Lord Voldemort into this film.
Yeah.
He'd have a chat with Teddy.
Yeah.
They would just compare notes on anagrams. She'd be like, oh, what I see. I started by bringing the D over to make Daniels because I wanted to start with that from the ladies. And then I took the L and did blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
fascinating.
I just think it'd be really interesting for them to compare notes. Also, imagine that. Just like Leonardo.
How does that help, though?
It doesn't have to help anything. It's just I don't know, maybe it's part of the rehabilitation so that he understands what he did, you know.
I feel like that would just be like a deleted scene. Like it doesn't actually add anything to the film.
I want it to be at the end of the credits.
Right.
It's just so Teddy's like sitting on the bed when he's or like he's about to get the lobotomy done or something like that. And like hello. It's Lord Voldemort.
Oh, yes, come right in.
I would like to speak to Teddy Daniels.
Anthony Leaders? Yes, of course.
Teddy.
Yeah?
I made an anagram of my name too.
Oh, wonderful. Let's sit down and have a talk about that.
There you go. And they would just
that's how that would go.
they would just compare notes. I think it'd be kind of cool.
Oh, what a fucking brilliant scene that would be.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'm so amazed they didn't keep that in.
So, would you say indoors to watch this film?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it's a solid film about some stuff. It's a good twist at the end, and it does hold up on the second watch. So yeah, no, I'd definitely say watch it.
I think I preferred it this time,
even though we've essentially ruined the twist if you haven't seen it already.
I mean, spoilers and whatever.
Yeah.
But what's cool is that when you watch it the first time, you've got no idea it happens.
Yeah.
But then every next time that you watch it, it just fully informs your watching experience, as opposed to just being like, oh no, I just know what happens at the end, so whatever, you know.
Okay, so I'd probably pose to you a potential extra segment add-on, where maybe, you know, if you haven't seen the film, watch the film. If you've seen it again, go back to it. I mean, if you've already seen it, yeah, I would say give it another watch. It holds up the second time round. So yeah, I'd watch it.
You said that about 5 times.
Yeah, I'm really trying to cement that fact. You know, it's just like the film holds up
the second round time. The second round time.
Yeah, even the second
square time.
Yeah. You? Did you stay indoors?
Yeah, I would definitely stay indoors.
Would you say it holds up the second time round?
You know what? The second time round, it holds up.
Oh, okay. So, that's interesting that you say that. I would also agree with that.
That what?
The second time round, the film does actually hold up.
Oh, okay. I see how that works.
Yeah.
So what I thought was that the first time I saw the film was just the first time.
Yeah.
And then the second time I saw the film, I was like, this is the second time I'm watching the film.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to hold up.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm watching the film, and the second time round, the film is holding up.
Yeah. You know what? That's funny. I had the exact same thoughts. I was like, right, I'm watching this film. I've seen this film already. Is it going to hold up, or am I just boring myself here? What am I doing? Halfway through the film, I'm like, you know what? Actually, I am still interested in picking up on some little things.
And so at the end...
And at the end, I'm like, that holds up.
So go watch the film, guys, because the film holds up.
It does.
The second time round.
It does.
If you do want to watch this film, because you want to see if it holds up the second time round, which, by the way, it does.
It does.
You can watch it on Amazon Prime Video.
Yeah. And if it's the third time you're watching it, tell us if it holds up.
The third time round, because we were really interested to know if that's the case. So we'll see you next week
see you next week.
Sunset
Boulevard.
George,
which
I need to point out everything I'm saying.
I need to point out because it seems that it could be difficult to find it. Sometimes it's spelt as in boulevard. Sometimes it's just spelt BLVD. So just be aware of that if you want to watch it. Just trying to find it.
Sunset Boulevard or Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Bye. Kieran, give me a 5-letter word that begins with D.
Dived.
Nice. So you can dive into our podcast at 250 reasons. You could have dived. You could have dived into the podcast.
I don't know if dived is a word. Is it dove? What is the past tense of dive? This is something that I think about.
And the sailor dived into the water.
Yeah, okay. Now you say it like that.
Thank you.
But then he dove in the swimming pool.
No, he didn't.
No, that's bollocks. No, he definitely didn't.
No.
He dived into the swimming pool.
But doves fly.
That is true.
Yeah?
Okay,
Yeah.
So when people dived into the podcast...
David dived into the dunder dive to dove into his dove.
Where is this going?
So you can listen to us at 250 Reasons on Facebook.
There's no correlation between...
You can't listen to us on Facebook. I don't know why I said it.
Yeah, you
Kieran.
can. Because
we post it on Facebook, so you can.
Oh.
Fuck.
And also, you can subscribe to us, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, Acast, YouTube, Spotify, all of those things.
Yeah, and send in your 50-second pitch to 250reasons@gmail.com.
Listen to us just before you dive in the swimming pool.
Boom, done.
Bye.
Out.